Hi guys, and welcome back. So, come in this morning and we're now going to start laying the floor. So the floor we've got is this stuff. It's like a Antico type Cardine. No, it's all the same vinyl tiles, and the reason I'm going for that is it's just in case if I did it all in one big area and anything got damaged, anything got scratched, you've got to replace all of it. The good thing with this is if you damage one, which it is really hard wearing anyway, but if you was to damage one, you could just take that one section up. So the thing is, I'm not a floor layer. I'm a plumber and bathroom fitter, so I do tiling. So yeah, give me a tile floor, give me a tile bathroom, anything like that, I'm okay with. With this, I've no idea, so this is a learning curve for me. So what we're gonna do, or the way I've done it, is I basically measured from left to right on the van, and I've measured the length of the van, and on the floor I've got a cross marked on the floor, which is the centre lines. And what we usually do in bathrooms, we usually lay everything, so you basically start off from the centre. So you start off from the centre and you work out. The one thing you don't want is you don't want to end up with like a little tiny sliver cut on the edge of something where it could get caught. So you want to try and work it where you've got the best match possible. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So what I'll do, because I think that's as it is, that's still tracking me. So I want to stop it from tracking me and look down here to show you basically what I'm trying to sort out. So what you do is you know sometimes you either start on, yeah, I'll swap the camera out and then I'll explain. Alright, so I think that'll show you what I mean. So I've got a line here which is basically my centre line. So you have two ways of working it out. You either start on your centre line and then work back. So you basically work towards whichever end you're going to. And if you look at that, we've got a piece there which is probably about 3 or 4 inch, which isn't too bad. But the thing you've got to look at is because we've got the cutout for the door, you need to just check it against that. So you basically just do the same again. You move everything over to where your door is and see what your cuts are going to be. So you've got like a 3-inch gap there as well. So what you can do, instead of starting the edge of this against your floor, against your centre line, you can start 50-50. So you basically start that with it over. So you use the centre of the van and you start with the centre of one of your tiles and then do the same again. You basically bring it back and see what you're going to end up with. Doing it that way, it's like I say, you're doing it that way, you're going to have a little tiny cut. So ideally we don't want to do that. What you can do is slightly offset it. So this is your priority side. So this area here is your priority, because this is what you're going to see. You're going to see this side of your van. So if you started on a half and you basically move it across to where you need to be, you then look at it and go, right, well, I could theoretically I could start on a full tile against that wall. So that would then just be slightly off centre. Visually, that's giving me the best thing to look at, because that's hard, that's flush against the wall. The next one is hard up against the wheel arch. So you're not got any tiny little slices. When you sat on the rib bed, this is the area you see. We've got a big cut around the opening of the floor. When we get back over to this side, even though we might only have a very small sliver, that's hidden underneath the units, so you don't see that. So this is where you, like I say, a lot of people sometimes, like I say, this is lucky. Starting on a full one there, coming all the way across, it works out perfect. It works out along the edge of the van, it works out along the edge of the wheel arch. So doing it that way is a good way to do it. Doing it forwards and backwards isn't too bad. You've got different patterns that you can do with flooring. So there's all, no, some people, so that's like a 1200. So basically you've got like a 600 center on that. So you could literally do them what they call brick bond. So it's like your house brick. So every joint you offset them slightly. When you've got a long, thin, like long, narrow tile or flooring, you can do what they call third bond. So you basically, that's 1200. So you split that up into three. So mark your tile at 400 and do it that way. So it does give you a pattern. So you get like a pattern which is either third bond, brick bond, half bond. No, which is brick bond is like half bond. What a lot of people do when you're going for a wood effect is they just do what they call random. So you just do a random bond. So you decide where you're going to start. So you start at that bit. So you go, right, that's where I'm going to start. And then whatever you cut off that end to get that one to fit is where you start on the next one. So this way, so if you were to do it this way, you do your section like that, and when you get to there, you cut that off. This piece then starts your next row. So your next row would be, say, like that, and then you do the same again. Whatever your off cut is from there, you then start your next row, which is what they call random bond. So random bond is great when you have like a wood plank effect. Random bond's great when you have like a wooden board. If you want to put a wooden, like an oak board down, I know it's heavy, but if you wanted to put like an oak flooring down, you could do it that way. And the good thing with doing random bond, there's no wastage, because whatever your off cut is where you start your next row. So you're always utilising your off cuts. So if you're tight on money or you don't want to be throwing a load of this away, that's it. Random bond is the best way to do it. Work out you work out your centre. If you're going to start centre of the floor to the centre of your tile, just because we need to just go slightly off centre to utilise that side of the van, that side of the wheel arch, to give us the best cut, the best finish. So what we do then is work back from that. My next priority for me is this join line. So the join line here isn't an issue because we can go across that. This is my next join line. So it's worked out quite well, because where that join line is, working that way, brings it to the centre of this piece. So it's always best to try and get your join line in the centre of a tile or in the centre of your flooring, because then if there is any flex, any deviation, it's on that. If you put the edge of this against where your join is, you do have a potential of that opening up, that basically moving slightly, and you don't want that. So yeah, it's literally a case of what's that took. That's took 5 minutes to measure the floor out, work out where the centres are, and then work out that we can technically start on that edge. Starting on that edge gives us a nice clean edge against the side of the wheel arch. Work way across, it then brings the join in the floor, so the join there between them two pieces, which is literally 3/4 of the van, is in the centre of your tile. So that's not going to move. So yeah, it's literally spend 5 minutes, spend 10 minutes. On some bathrooms, depending what tiles the customer have got, depending if you're going around windows, doors, alcoves, everything else, This process can take an hour, it can take 2 hours. But doing this process first, one, it cuts down on wastage. So you're not starting a thing and then go, oh, I've got a tiny gap there or this. It's like when I did the carpet lining. So if you can just plan ahead, then the fact that I had to join the carpet lining in that corner because I thought I'd measured up correct, but when you come in and out of your alcoves and everything else, it doesn't always work. So yeah, it's, to me, take 10 minutes, 15 minutes sorting this out, then that's it. So for me, I could start on this edge. So if that was the case, then I would basically try and work out where the best cuts are going to be. So where the best cuts are going to be. So it's a case of trim the corner off this to fit into there. Now I might have to take a slight sliver off this one to push it in, but I can do that. So what I'll do is I'll work out if I've got to take a sliver off that, cut that one into the alcove, cut that one into the arch, cut a section into the arch at the back. So I'm gonna cut so many pieces dry fitting them. So I know that's not an issue. I'm gonna end up with a small piece down that side. That's what it is. All that side is inside the units. It's either underneath the fridge or it's inside the units. So it's not a big problem. This is your focal point, this side. This is the bit you see when you open the side door. So when you open the side door, this is technically your living area. So this is the bit you want to concentrate on. Get this bit looking right, get this bit so it all runs straight, it all runs nice, and then you basically get your adhesive out and start laying it. So what I'll do is I'll pause this for now. I'll do some working out, I'll do some trimming and work out, make sure that everything is fitted how I want it around that wheel arch and along this area. And then when I've done that, I'll switch the video back on and come back and show you the process of the adhesive that you use for this product, or for lino anyway, show you the process of that. And because it has like a waiting time, so you don't want to do all the floor because then you can't get in to lay your pieces. So you do it in segments. And with the stuff I've got at the moment, this temperature, you want to comb a certain area. I'm going to probably do 3. I'm going to work out where 3 of these planks come to, and I'll just do that one area. You've got to leave it 10 minutes and then you can stick it down. Once you've stuck it down, you basically apply some pressure through a roller or whatever to final grab it, and then you can do your next section, then you can do the next section until you've come across to this end. So I just wanted to go through how me as like a tiler doing bathrooms, how we work out basically the process of doing a floor. So I hope that makes sense. I hope people get that. It is, the more time you spend now, the less wastage you're going to get, the less mistakes you're going to get. And hopefully, fingers crossed, because this is the first time I've used this stuff, so hopefully it'll work out and it'll look okay. So I'll pause this for now and I'll come back once I've got a section dry fitted. Once I've got everything cut dry fitted how I want it, then I'll switch the camera back on and we'll go through the process of marking a line where you want to end it, and then cutting, then combing the floor with the adhesive and sticking the first section down. Cheers guys, back shortly. Hi guys, so that probably took about 30 or 40 minutes, but what I'll do is, if you see, so down here now I've basically cut everything to shape where I want it. So I've cut around the door opening and everything else, so they're just all dry fitted, so they're basically just dry fitted to where I want them. So what I'll do now is, I've drawn a line along here on the floor. I'll draw a little line there because I'll do that corner piece when I've done the rest. So I'll get this area in now. Now I know this is all running square and it's running where I want it, then so yeah, now I know that's square and running where I want it, then what I can do, I've left the door opening, I've left like probably about 5mm extra over the edge of the board, just because, like I say, when you dry fitting, something might move slightly. So when you scribe it into a wall, try and get it as tight as possible. If you go into a door edge, just leave a couple of mil, and then once it's all glued and once it's dried, you can trim that up afterwards. You can either sand it with a sander or just get a sharp Stanley blade and trim it up. So what I'll do is I'll take these pieces up now and I'll lay them on the floor next to me, like upside down, so I know what's going where. It's not too bad because you can pretty much see what's going. And then I'll put adhesive down on this bit, and then hopefully I'll get them in the right spot. I think there is a little bit of wiggle room with this. One of the adhesives, it's like the contact one, once you put that down, it's stuck. On this one, I think you do get a little bit of leeway. So what I'll do is I'll set you up in a minute and I'll just get all that done. So you'll see this area and I'll comb the floor with the adhesive. I'll show you what it is actually. It's can't get it, just hang on. So this one is just a very, very fine serrated edge. So it's not even like a millimetre. It's really, really fine. And what you do is basically just comb the floor with the adhesive with that, comb the area that you're doing, and then you've got to wait 10 minutes then. So in this temperature, because I'm going on to apply subfloor, they recommend 10 minutes, leave it 10 minutes and then stick them down. Once you've got everything where you want it, then get a roller and roll over the top just to give it that compression. So I'll pause this while I get these bits up, and then what I'll do is I'll set you up hopefully where you can see what I'm doing, and then let's say I'll either do that as a time lapse or I'll basically talk through that. So one of them flexicomb, so Sweeney Todd blades. Yeah. So when I got everything from the flooring people, that's what basically I just went with what they said, because this isn't my job, so this is not something I usually do. So yeah, I do flooring, I do tiling, do plumbing, but yeah, putting this stuff down is not what I usually do. So yeah, it's what they say is, I'm just trying to get that edge done. So what they say is keep your trowel at 60 degrees, and that then gives you a small layer of adhesive. The thing is with this stuff, you don't want too much, so it's just be careful going against the edges. This is it, when you're doing like a confined space, it's a little bit tricky, but as I say on all my videos, it's a case of it don't matter how long it takes you, because if you're doing it yourself, you're saving the money of paying someone else. So they're gonna come in and they have to get it done ultra quick, because like I say, they're charging you a fee for doing it. So doing it yourself, you can just take your time. Like I say, I'm not a floor layer, If it was ceramic tiles, porcelain tiles, then yeah, I do it, but I don't do this stuff. So this is the first, what you're seeing now is the first time I've done it. So yeah, don't be scared by doing anything. Everyone's got to learn somewhere, haven't they? So majority of the stuff that I learned doing the camper vans is basically just behind me. So I learned off them guys. So yeah, you do then pick up stuff yourself, but yeah, majority of what you do is just by trial and error, isn't it? So what's the worst that can happen is you cut a piece which is wrong, which I did. I cut a piece which was wrong, so you just put it to one side. It might come in, it might fit somewhere else. So yeah, you just, like I say, it's just one of them. I'm a big believer in give it a go. If you can't do it or you're not happy with it, then yeah, get someone else to do it. This stuff isn't the cheapest. It's not the cheapest flooring out there, but it's one of the hardest wearing floors. So that's why I went with it. But it's a case of if you muck up, don't you? Nobody's perfect, so yeah, it's give it a go. Like I say, watch videos on YouTube. If you know anyone who does it for a living, ask them, see if they'll give you any tips, any tricks. So that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's all about, like I say, everyone's got to give it a go. So yeah, it's suppose we've got to give it a go, haven't we? So if I muck up, don't worry, I don't. So yeah, that's not too bad. You still get, let's say the way that's moved, then you still get quite a bit of wiggle room with that. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Doesn't mean you have to be exactly precise with. You do need to be precise with it, but it's just good that you get a little bit of wiggle. So I'll any spillage I'll go round afterwards. So yeah, the only thing I would say, if you're doing a tile, like this one, is when you put in the, well, I'll get this one in and I'll explain to you what I think. This is a bit tricky, this one. So people are saying, why don't you take your panel off? Good problem. So the thing is, the panel is so tight that yeah, it's get this one in, and then I'll. So what I was saying is, as you're coming in to do them, is try and keep it. So basically, get your edges all the way in before you drop the tile down. So like with this one now, is line up your corner, get that edge lined up. So, see, proper floor layers will be laughing at me now. So, but, and then that just means you get a really nice tight bond. So, yeah, like there, that's your priority one. So push it in against that first, and then push it down against there. Same again with this one. It's a case of get your corner. When you're cutting them as well, you need to, that's why I had them lay in the same orientation they were going to go down, because if I was to spin that one round, because that's my cut edge, I'll have a bad join there. So doing it this way, you're keeping everything, keeping all your joins nice and tight, and that's the thing. It's a case of the tighter you can get your joins, the better it is. So yeah, it's a lot better than I thought, because you have got quite a lot of leeway on it. So yeah, there's still a bit of movement in them, so you can jiggle them about a bit. So if you need to push it, you can push it. Now, so as far as I know, with this one, because this is a water-based one, you can literally wash it down. Any spillage, you can go over it. You can go over it with just a damp cloth. So that's the one I've got. That's the roller I've got. So this is basically the one that we use. So, I don't know. I've just had a look at this. You can still tweak it. It's still 10 minutes, and it's still it is still like movable. It's still malleable, whatever. So yeah, I'm just going to give this a quick roller. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I am happy with that, guys. So what I'll do is I will just carry on. I'll try and get the biggest percentage of this floor done. I might, what we usually do with tiles, because this is staying a little bit tacky, what we usually do when we're doing tile floors, because you can't really work on the tiles when you're doing it, I'll just see, I'm here all day, so I can literally get as far as I can and then just leave it, give it an hour or so. I'll have a look at the instructions, how quick they say it tacks off. I just don't want to be working on it, turning and open any joints up. So I'd rather just do as much as I can reach, and then, so even if it's a case of do this top area, put a couple down, and then, but yeah, I just, like I say, I am in a rush, but I'm not in a rush. I'm in a rush where the van needs to be finished. I'm not in a rush where I want to destroy the work I'm doing. So I'll pause you and I'll carry on. And yeah, hopefully we should have some more done when you come back. Yeah, that's it. Sorry for the noise outside. Hi guys, so I've done as much as I'm doing. The only reason being is that adhesive, great stuff, but it's got a longer working time, and what I don't want to do is twist about on this and open any of the joints up. At the moment I'm perfectly happy with everything, so I've left these a little bit long and I'll trim all them up tomorrow, and I've just got two pieces to put in that area tomorrow. That's it. It's like I say, I've managed to get all this area in, so yeah, I'm happy with it. It's all basically sticking down as it should do. It's, yeah, it is what it says on the tin. So yeah, what I'll do is I will end this video now, and yeah, like I say, if you've never done it, give it a go. Get some carpet tiles or whatever and just take the time. That's all it is. It's just literally a case of you're in no rush, so take as long as it takes. And what I did in a couple of places, so in this area here, basically because it's a bit tricky to get the angle, then I just made a paper template. So basically just folded a bit of A4 paper to the shape that I needed, and then transferred that onto a tile. If you just transfer it on a little bit larger than what you need, you just trim it back so you get a nice perfect fit. And in the area around the wheel arch at the back, because it's quite tricky, what I did there, I just got some masking tape and literally just get masking tape and put it on the floor so you get whatever shape you need. So even, it doesn't matter how tricky the shape is, fill in all the gaps, and then when you pull it up, you just transfer that onto your tile. Do the same again, transfer it on, keep it a little bit larger than what you need, and then just trim it back. So easiest way, paper, masking tape, everyone's got that. Like I say, that costs nothing, masking tape costs nothing, and it's cheaper to mess up with a bit of masking tape and a bit of paper than it is to mess up with one of the tiles. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Once I get them bits down tomorrow morning, it just means I can take that panel off, I can get the wiring from behind there, and I can look at basically fixing the unit in, running all the wires into the unit. So yeah, it's getting there. So that's it. It's like I've got another few bits and bats to do here, but this is the main video that I wanted to do. I just wanted to show you the process of putting tiles down, and it's the same process if you put in the like heavy duty vinyl or any type of vinyl that you're wanting to put down in your van. You can do the same process. So it's just take your time, and if you use the adhesive, only get everything for it. So I think that comb, the steel comb, was a couple of quid, and yeah, just put that on. It's only like well, I don't even think it's 2 mil, it's like 1 mil thickness. Put that on, wait 10 minutes, stick these down, leave it another 10 minutes, and then give them a roller. If you haven't got a roller, just get a piece of wood, put some carpet round it, put some carpet trim round it, and use that just to smooth it down. But it is like a contact adhesive, so yeah, just give it a bit of contact. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys, and if you subscribed, thanks very much for that. I appreciate it. I love the fact that people are subscribing. I love the fact, and like I say, if you find it useful, then that's all that matters. That's why I do it. It's like I say, it gives me, I enjoy making the videos, even though it does stress me out sometimes. I enjoy making the videos. If you guys watch them and you enjoy it or you learn something from it, then that's it. That's all I'm bothered about. So yeah, I'm not sure. It's probably gonna, I'm trying to think what, I'd say tomorrow. It probably is going to be start second fixing the units, because once I've got the units in place, I can then work out, because I've got a battery tray and everything to fix to the floor, water heater and everything to fix to the floor. So yeah, I'll need to start spacing out where units are going to work out where they are. So that's probably my next job. But yeah, thanks very much guys, and yeah, have a go. That's all it is, isn't it? I wing it, so if I can wing it, you can. Cheers guys, thanks a lot.